Welcome, fellow delegates, to this session. We're going to talk today with the Secretary of the Board, Jeremy Webster, who is joining us to give us some highlights of the duties that he carries on the board of ICMCI. So welcome, Jeremy.
Hello, hi there.
Hi. Can we start with you giving us a bit of an overview of the highlights of or the main activities that you've had over the past year?
Okay, well, I'm happy to do so. Thanks, Dwight, and hello, everyone. The Secretary's job is one of these that sits in the background most of the time, of course. What my job is to make sure that we follow our own rules, that our meetings are organised, the annual meeting particularly, and that everybody has the opportunity to contribute their vote to our governance. Of course, this year we've been rather hit by the pandemic. Of course, you'll know we were hoping to hold our annual meeting of delegates, firstly in Lebanon, and they politely asked us could they decline, and we then were tasked with organising it to take place in Armenia, which would have gone really well if we hadn't all been struck down by the COVID pandemic. Our decision, of course, was then to say, well, now is the time where we can introduce the idea of a virtual annual meeting. And we've been pressing on doing this, and of course I say we, it's mostly through the efforts of Rima and Khuzaima, organising all of the logistics, and you'll all have been receiving emails to make sure that we've got the voting addresses correct and so on. But for us, it's pretty exciting, and me too. I'm really pleased that we can organise our annual meeting virtually, because I do think it will give many more people the opportunity to participate. So that's the main thing that I've been involved with this year, is helping get the adjustment towards online governance, making it work.
Wonderful. It has been an extraordinary year for us, for sure, and we had a lot of curves thrown at us with the pandemic. What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome in your role?
Well, I mean, I'd highlight clearly the rapid change that we've had to make towards moving ourselves online. Of course, one of the things that the Secretary is responsible for is making sure that we work within our own rules. And of course, in our bylaws, one of the things that we had to make sure of, first of all, is that we were indeed allowed to have an annual meeting online, as opposed to having to have a face-to-face event. Interestingly, I'm also secretary of another charity in the UK, and our problem there has been that our rules say that we must have a face-to-face meeting. We can't have an online one. Unfortunately, at ICMCI, we're not in that position. But just making sure that the terms of our bylaws actually make sure that we are able to do this has been a bit of a challenge. But the second one has been to make sure that we can get it all set up in time. We've had to review our timetable for organising the meeting, and thanks again to Rima and Khuzaima's work, we've managed to get that right. And of course, we've had to organise these very videos to make sure that our reports are circulated in advance, and that people have the opportunity to see us in the same kind of way that we would have been present at an annual meeting, to outline the issues that we've been facing.
Yeah, it does come with its pluses and minuses, doesn't it? Because the minus, of course, we don't get to see each other in person and perhaps share a glass of wine, or to be able to meet informally. The plus is it's probably more accessible to people because of its virtual format. Yeah,
absolutely. And I have to say, one of the things that my board colleagues are a bit fed up with me banging on about is that we need to find ways of making sure that all our members are able more easily to participate in our governance. And, you know, we all know that it's not easy always for everybody to attend the actual annual events that we put on. Sometimes these are in parts of the world that are difficult to get to, and of course there's a cost associated with people doing that. Doing it this way, of course, means that the cost is not eliminated, but much reduced, and that everybody can potentially attend. So we're looking forward to having everybody, as many representatives as possible, participate in our governance this year.
Okay, excellent. So that brings us to this part of the process for the annual meeting. Can you say a few words about what delegates can expect for at the annual meeting itself?
Well, okay, I'm happy to try and explain through that. The process we're following this year is that all delegates will have received hard copy or electronic copy of the reports of the various committees and the board members who are providing reports. You'll have seen the accounts, and all of this will be provided well in advance of the actual meeting itself, to give delegates the opportunity to both read these and digest them themselves, but also for all delegates to perhaps consult more widely in their institutes to share this information before discussing it with members of the board, and that's a bit of a change from past experience. We're organising these videos to allow the committee chairs and board members to amplify issues in the actual reports, but the main issue is that online on the day of the report, on the day of the AGM, the annual meeting, we'll be holding 2 sessions in different time zones to allow as many people as possible to attend conveniently, where we're happy to take questions from all delegates about issues that have been raised in the reports and on the videos, and we'll do our best as board members to answer those. And we'll be holding these sessions during the day, and once the day of the annual meeting has finished and the question and answer sessions have been completed, we'll then be allowing delegates to vote using the online or postal voting system that we've used in the past within a certain amount of time of the end of the actual meeting, so that you can cast your vote according to whether you agree with the various reports or various accounts and so on. And that's how it's going to work this year. My hope is that by sharing the information in advance, both through these videos and through the actual reports, that delegates will be able to pose questions of the board and get answers in a more thoughtful, considered way, because you'll have the opportunity to read up in advance. So that's how it's going to work this year. We will, of course, ask you all afterwards whether you felt it worked well, because it may be that this template can be used in future years, even though we, of course, may be able to travel as well.
Wonderful. Excellent. That's all great information. The time's flown by. We're near the end of our time. Have you any closing comments or thoughts for delegates before we close?
Well, only to say, please do take advantage of this new opportunity, that this is the first time that we've held an online annual meeting. We think it's a real improvement in accessibility and governance and the opportunity for everybody to contribute and ask questions. So please take advantage of it. Read up the information that we've sent in advance, watch the videos, and please do attend on the 14th of October at either one session or the other, or both if you really want to, but I think one or the other is probably best. And ask questions, and we will do our best to answer those questions. And there we are. We look forward to seeing you on the 14th.
Wonderful. Thanks for your time today, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you.